All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. We're talking about the New England Patriots in today's video, and obviously, rightfully so, the main and pretty much kind of the only talking point, in mainstream media with the Patriots this offseason and will continue to be all the way up until training camp in the regular season is Drake Maye, as it should be. Drake Maye got selected early on. He's going to be really good. We're going to talk about Drake Maye, OTAs, minicamp, all that fun stuff towards the end of this video. But I really like what New England is doing. Obviously, Bill Belichick is no longer with this team, and you've got new guys coming in here, right? Elliott Wolf, Gerard Mayo, new head coach, Alex Van Pelt, offensive coordinator. They're in a new regime. 7 of the 8 picks were offensive players, and it wasn't just Drake Maye that I liked. I really liked Polk. I really liked Baker. I just think, finally the tides are turning, and hopefully this team can get to a more offensive standpoint because you just desperately need it. This is a Patriots team that put up less than 14 points per game. We could be playing football all the way back in 1972. 13.9 points per game is not going to win you anything. In fact, I'm kind of surprised the Patriots even won 4 football games. Their defense was really good. Their defense still is really good. And, even if Jacoby Brissett's the starter for the first half of the season, I don't care, because all I want to know is, what's next? Is Drake Maye the future? And yeah, it's going to be his rookie season. Take it with a grain of salt. But hey, man, because what we saw from CJ Stroud, we've seen it a couple times in the NFL, franchises can change immediately because of your quarterback. It's the most important position in the NFL for a good reason. So I want to rant for a minute or two about this offense as we talk about the draft, and we'll finish up about OTAs, minicamp, and all that stuff. So before we do, if you guys enjoy it, be sure to hit that like button, hit that sub button for daily NFL content. We actually haven't made a Patriots video in way too long. I apologize. The Patriots were a team I was huge on last season because I thought Mac and Cheddar Cheese Jones was going to get back on track. And the Patriots, Bill Belichick specifically, has never been an offensive guy. And, it's just crazy because I go back and I look at that roster from last season. I look at his weapons from last season. I'm thinking to myself, oh, man, it's just really no surprise that that's how that ended. So new regime, new era, but welcome back to the channel. If you guys want more Patriots videos, let me know down below. If we could try and get this video to 100 likes, that would mean the absolute world to me. So one of the reasons one of the reasons I want to talk about this is because I was reading an article and I got nothing. I think it was from Fanside. I don't know who the writer of it was. They were going through like the 4 worst Patriots moves from the offseason. And the first and most important one they outlined was Kendrick Bourne getting re-signed. And the logic behind it was Bourne, this is verbatim, Bourne has never started more than 8 games in a single season, and that hasn't happened since 2018. Doesn't even make sense. Even when he's been healthy, the former 49ers never caught more than 55 passes in a regular season across the 800 receiving yards barrier. He had an 800-yard season a couple of years ago. Kendrick Bourne, even though he technically, I guess, doesn't start on paper, more than 8 games in a season, he was wide receiver 1 last year, and without him, I know he got injured ACL. What was it, week 8? They need more wide receivers just in general. And that's why I love that they drafted 7 out of their 8 players were offensive, and 2 of them were huge wide receivers in the 2nd round and in the 4th round. And, even like folks like Kendrick Bourne, I get it. He's not a solidified wide receiver 1, but I look at this wide receiver room and I'm like, all right, Kendrick Bourne, you got Jalen there, KJ Osborne, new addition, Demario Douglas, who had a really sneaky good rookie season. They need some type of veteran in there. So anyways, my point just kind of was, you need to surround your rookie quarterback with as many weapons as humanly possible. And from my outsider standpoint, I'm a Packers fan, Kendrick Bourne is just a really reliable wide receiver, but he needs to be in that room to help teach these youngsters the way she goes. So I look at a guy like Jalen Polk, or we'll talk about him in just a second, because for now, Brissett is the lead quarterback, and it makes sense with his familiarity with offensive coordinator Alex Van Pelt. It goes back to their time together with the Cleveland Browns in 2022. So the Athletics' Jeff Howe believes Maye needs to improve his pre-snap process to earn consideration for the lead role. So, training camp is for the Patriots just a little over a month from the time of this recording. I think we're actually youngsters might be reporting in a month. Anyways, neither here nor there. I assume Jacoby Brissett will start for the first 8 or so, the first half of the season for the Patriots. And that's perfectly fine because I want these young wide receivers to just get acclimated to some type of consistency that maybe a young 21-year-old Drake Maye, couldn't emulate right out of the get-go because he's a freaking 21-year-old rookie. So in 2022, we know Drake Maye, the third pick of this year's draft, 2022, Drake Maye set the North Carolina record for completions, 342, and passing yards, 4,321 in a single season. He's 6'4", 223 pounds. He totaled 302 carries for 1,209 rushing yards and 16 touchdowns. So a little bit of a dual threat quarterback here. I think he's got a great arm. I think he's very agile. I think he's very athletic and mobile. I think he is the quarterback of the future for the Patriots. But at the end of the day, you've got two young wide receivers that you just drafted, and you also have Demario Douglas. And my thought process and my hope is that Jalen Polk, Javon Baker, and Demario Douglas can be this kind of wide receiver tandem, a trio tandem for the future. So when I look at Polk, he's so underrated in his own regard. I think it was just because Odunze got all the hype and all the praise coming out of Washington. But Polk was, like, if you watch the film, folks, this dude is unbelievable. He clocked in a 4.52 in the 40-yard dash, so he's not crazy fast, but he makes unbelievable plays. He extends his body so well, and we're hearing out of minicamp and OTAs that the Patriots really like what they are seeing. But I'm telling you, man, this is a guy last season, 69 catches, 1,159 yards, 9 total touchdowns. He averaged 16.8 yards per reception. He flew so under the radar because of Rome Odunze, in my opinion, and Michael Penix. Washington, those two guys got all the hype for the offense last season. Polk was a huge reason for Penix's success, for Washington's success, their offensive success. Like, Polk could be the future wide receiver one for the Patriots right now. Javon Baker really intrigues me as well. I know he's got drop issues. He's got 14 drops over the past 2 seasons. 5 catches of 50-plus yards last season. Guys, this is a former Bama recruit. I get it. He played at the UCF last season, Big 12, 52 catches, 1,139 yards, 7 touchdowns. Guys, he averaged 22 yards per catch. So I feel much better with this wide receiver room, having these youngsters. Now Demario Douglas has a year under his belt. Kendrick Bourne's recovering from that ACL injury. You got KJ Osborne, who has been more of a role player over with New England or with the Minnesota Vikings, wide receiver 3. I think he's really solid, really reliable. And then you've got these young rookies. So you got to help out. Even if Drake Maye starts in week 8, you got to keep helping this dude out because he's, once again, hopefully your franchise QB for the long term. So I just loved Elliott Wolf, Packer guy. I loved his game plan with this draft in general. 7 out of 8 offensive players. I think it was on the money. We'll wait and see what happens. Thank you guys for watching. Let me know your thoughts on Drake Maye and the New England Patriots. Give me how many wins will they total this upcoming season down below. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you soon.